In the middle of oceans, rivers, or lakes, far from any help and surrounded only by the sound of water and wind, fishermen believe they are in control of the situation. But the waters hold secrets, and some of them should never be found. Instead of fish, nets, and an ordinary day of fishing, these men came face to face with inexplicable presences, terrifying encounters, and situations that defy logic, turning a normal workday into moments of pure terror. And that's exactly what you're going to see here today. So leave your like, click the subscribe button down below, and let's go! Two fishermen were fishing on the edge of a river when a strange object began to drift closer, floating on the surface of the water, and of course it caught both of their attention because of its questionable shape. As it came closer and closer, one of the fishermen, curious even after seeing the shape and already having an idea of what it could be, decided to pick it up and even smell it, confirming that it really was a piece of feces. That's right, it was a piece of feces that could have been from some animal or even a person, and even so, he didn't hesitate to grab it. Unfortunately, many people use these places as a bathroom, and because of the shape of the feces, many people truly believe it's something human, which makes the situation even more disgusting. In 2016, a man named Lance Burgos got a huge scare while paddling a kayak on a lake in the state park near St. Martinville, Louisiana, United States, a region known for its swamps and areas with a large alligator population. While camping and kayaking with his daughter near the campsite, he saw a pool noodle floating in the water, attached to a line, and decided to pull it, thinking it might be snagging a catfish or another common fish. When he started pulling the line, however, the surprise was enormous, because a big alligator's mouth appeared, with very sharp teeth clamping onto the object and making it clear it was hooked on the other end of the line.
Oh my God! That's a big ass gator, buddy! That is a big gator. Oh.
Realizing the size and danger of the animal, Burgos quickly let go of the line and paddled in a hurry back away from that spot, while his daughter, terrified, cried in the kayak. Fishermen were out at sea fishing as usual when, as they hauled the net up from the bottom, they got a huge surprise. The net emerged from the water with a great weight, and apparently there were only fish inside it. But when they opened the net on board, in addition to hundreds of fish, there was a gigantic walrus inside, which was probably caught by accident and got trapped amid the school of fish that completely covered it, and that's why it wasn't possible to see it was there.
О, здоровый, жирненький какой!
When they discovered the large animal, the fishermen get startled and even find the unusual situation comical. Most likely, the walrus was searching for food near the school at the moment the net passed by and caught it. During a magnet fishing session from a bridge, a woman who makes this kind of content revealed an unusual find in the river where she was fishing. Standing on a bridge, she threw her magnet line into the river below and then pulled it up to see what she could grab from the bottom. She manages to catch various things like car parts, but one of them drew a lot of attention because it was a mortar bomb. That's right, this type of bomb that was heavily used in the Second World War was found by her, and she apparently didn't know what she was dealing with. She carries the bomb and shows it to the camera as if it were just any other thing. According to some information, these bombs can be very dangerous because with rust and the deterioration over time, they become unstable and can cause accidents. That's why, when finding one like this, the most recommended action is to move away and call the local authorities. Fishermen on a boat on yet another normal workday ended up coming across something floating in the middle of the sea and decided to get closer, discovering something curious. As they got closer, they realized it was a shipping container alone and adrift at sea. Curious to know what was inside, they grabbed an angle grinder and began cutting and opening the container, discovering that inside there were iPhones that were inside a white box disguised as camouflage. What people speculate is that the merchandise could be illegal, and the vessel transporting it, noticing some kind of inspection approaching, preferred to throw the container into the sea rather than get caught and even arrested in the act. A couple of sailors were out at sea when they were surprised by a pirate attack, as pirates approached to try to steal the vessel. The couple, who record this kind of content on the internet and post their sailing routine across the seas, came across a group of maritime criminals, also called pirates, who took advantage of the isolated vessel to approach and try to board in order to rob the couple and what they had. When she noticed the strange movement, the woman quickly shouted to her husband, who moved to defend the vessel and fortunately managed to deter the criminals.
As you can see there, the spices. Oh. Darcy! Darcy!
The man says he managed to start the vessel's second engine and quickly moved away from the pirates, who decided to leave. The boat's tracker, which was visible, was also put into silent mode so no one could track their position at sea. In July of 2022, a video went viral showing the exact moment a large shark was being hoisted by fishermen at Horace Caldwell Pier, a fishing pier in Port Aransas, Texas, United States. The clip spread across social media because it showed an impressively large shark being pulled out of the water and lifted over the pier in front of several people who were fishing or walking by, causing surprise and shocked reactions among those who saw it. People who were there reported that as they approached the end of the pier, there was a lot of commotion and several fishermen working to hoist the animal, with one of the men who recorded it describing the scene as the craziest thing he's ever seen on a fishing pier. As stated before, part of the reason it got so much attention was precisely the size of the shark and the perfect timing captured in the video, which showed the fish hanging amid the fishing gear and being lifted up onto the pier. A video that gained traction online, posted by a creator on YouTube, showed a strange kayak fishing experience he had on the wild coast of Big Sur, California. In the video, the creator explains that he was surrounded by thick fog, so he couldn't see the coastline or anything around him, and that he was in the middle of the ocean, about half a mile from shore. He adjusted a new angle for his GoPro camera on the kayak while fishing, and only later, when reviewing the footage, did he notice the camera had captured something unusual in the water behind him. The creature appears quickly in the frame when a big wave passes, but disappears almost instantly, making it impossible to identify clearly. In comments on sites that mention the video, some viewers note that the object seen may resemble a sea lion or another common marine species, although this is not confirmed in the original video. The author of the video says in the description text that, despite noticing something unusual in his peripheral vision during the fishing trip, he had no idea what it was at the time, with the mystery remaining to this day. In another magnet fishing adventure, a content creator showed the moment he managed to pull a police gun from the bottom of a river. In the footage, the man appears tossing the magnet tied to a rope into the riverbed to capture metal objects lost on the bottom, until at a certain moment he pulls up a gun with the magnet. Curious to see the model, he realizes the gun belonged to the police because the department's logo was printed on it.
Oh my gosh!
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it's a wheel gun, man.
Oh my
Police gun.
gosh! A police gun! Holy moly!
When he realizes what he caught, he's impressed, sets the gun aside, and continues his fishing. The police were called so they could collect the gun and investigate the situation, because how and why did that gun end up there? A recording made by fishermen apparently in the Brazilian Pantanal, Brazil, shows them holding what would be one of the largest snakes ever recorded in a river. Referred to by many as the true anaconda, the snake appears swimming through the area, apparently with some animal in its digestive system, since it was completely bloated and a bit slow, but very strong. The fishermen try to pull it out of the river, holding the serpent by the tail, probably intending to measure it, but they can't, and it escapes. The size of the serpent is truly impressive, and from that, countless theories begin to arise about whether or not the so-called anaconda, the giant snake, exists, but by all indications it would be a huge green anaconda that had fed, and it ends up being common in the regions. It's worth noting that the fishermen's attitude was heavily criticized, since they violated a conservation rule by trying to handle and pull the serpent by force from the place where it was and digesting. A fisherman had just hooked a shark, and with the help of pliers was trying to free the animal from the hook. But when his pliers fell into the sea, something unbelievable happened. With the pliers in hand, the fisherman tried to cut the line and the hook that was holding the shark, but the animal thrashed quickly and knocked the pliers into the sea. Already accepting that he had lost his pliers, he was startled and surprised to see that the friend next to him who was fishing managed in an unbelievable way to hook the pliers and return them. The probability of him being able to hook the pliers there was very small, and yet he was lucky enough to do it. No one could believe it when the pliers were there, hooked by the hook. Good thing it was all filmed and it's possible to prove it, otherwise it would have become just another fisherman's tale. Fishermen have to face very unusual situations like this one, which ended up gaining, let's say, a competitor for their fishing. After hooking a fish and pulling it close, the fisherman saw a bird of prey, apparently a hawk, approach and land right on top of the fish that was hooked by the fisherman. There, it showed that the food had an owner and it wasn't leaving anytime soon, making the fisherman not confront it and give up the meal. Most likely it was drawn in by the smell and didn't think twice when it realized it could feed so easily, since the fish was already trapped. The banquet was already served. Every year, so-called ghost fishing nets cause the death of thousands of animals around the world, as in the case now where a whale shark in trouble had luck on its side. The nets are left loose by fishermen in the sea, and fish, turtles, and even sharks end up getting trapped or suffocated in them accidentally. One clear example of this problem happened in 2018 in Hawaii, where a young whale shark, the largest fish in the oceans, had a net around its body and was spotted by a group of fishermen who quickly went to help the animal. With a lot of patience, after several attempts, they managed to remove the net and free it. According to specialists, the net was already cutting into the animal's skin and posed a risk to its survival. In addition, it seemed weak, but thanks to their actions, the marine animal ended up being saved and able to continue living normally. An impressive and hard-to-believe video shows a fish that, even when released into the water, returns to the hands of a man who would be its owner. The video recorded by the man shows the moment the orange fish in his hands is released into the water, where it swims for a few meters, but soon returns to the man's hand, showing it was very accustomed and really liked its caretaker. The fish, which could very well go its own way, doesn't, and stays there with the guardian who managed to build a beautiful bond with the animal. This is one of those videos that, if it hadn't been filmed, no one would believe it, and that's exactly why the video also generated so much buzz. Don't forget to subscribe to watch more videos like this.